everybody, what is up? My name is Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice. And we release board game related content every single Friday. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It'll make us really happy.
Yes, and today we've got a topic that might put a few people into shock, so brace yourselves. That is how to get rid of games.
Wait, don't click out just yet. Hear us out. Okay, so last week we released a video on where to buy games, which you can click up there. So we obviously don't think that you should stop buying games.
However, there comes a time in every gamer's life where you have to make the difficult choice to get rid of games. And that means you're out of space, you need to make room for more, or maybe you just have too many and you feel like you need to get some off your chest. So how do you get rid of games? And how do you decide what games to get rid of? And what do you do with those games when you want to get rid of them?
So the first step is deciding which games to get rid of.
Yes, okay. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is be real with yourself. Start keeping a mental note of how often you play your games. Maybe there's games that you used to play a lot that you're just not playing so much anymore. You've outgrown them. Even if you liked them, they just don't hit the table as often. Maybe there's games on your shelves that have hit the table once in 6 months, once in a year. Those are the games you go for first. Now, you may still love those games. They may be games that you like a lot, but if you think that there's other places you might be able to play them, maybe a friend has them, maybe a shop has them, those are the games you can get rid of because there are so many games out there in the world, and with more and more games coming out all the time, you're not really going to hit those games as often as you hope.
So there are many useful ways to be able to keep track of how many games you have played. One of them is this app that Jonathan uses all the time on, what's it called?
Yeah, BG Stats.
On BG Stats.
BG Stats.
So that is a great way to log each of your plays and to be able to see how many games you have played in that time period. It's kind of like the closet trick where you like have all your hangers facing one way and then you flip it around every time you wear an outfit. Does anyone do that? Deciding on what you actually wear and what you don't. Same can go for games.
Now, there may be some easier picks on your list. There may be games that you just don't like. You just don't like them anymore. Maybe you played it and you're like, oh, I should like that because it's such a good game. It's critically acclaimed. But if you don't like it, be real with yourself. Get rid of that game. But I think it's also not always so cut and dry. Maybe it's a game I really like and it's a game Mackenzie doesn't like. Or the reverse, where she likes the game a lot and I don't like it. My advice there, if there are so many games that you do like and that you do enjoy playing together, why would you keep the games that your partner doesn't like?
So now we've decided what we're getting rid of. Now the question is, where is it going? So it actually depends on what kind of game it is. So what you're gonna do is for your Yahtzee, your Monopoly, your Clue, like those kind of games, like Scrabble, there's actually a lot of places that are willing to take these games. Always make sure to check with them first, but I know some great places, just to name a few. You have like therapy centers, you have family centers, you have homeless shelters, elementary schools, you know those, like you remember when it rained at recess, like you need those games to play inside, and they're not in the budget for teachers. Some other places are retirement homes and then churches, and the list just goes on, and all of these people are going to love playing your games. So that's what to do with like your family style games.
Yeah, that's the ones where they already know the rules, or it's like really simple, they can pick it up in 5 minutes.
Like they played it when they were
very
kids.
Friendly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do you do with the more like hobbyist games, which are the games that we mostly cover on this channel? Where can you give them that people might actually like sit down and play them and they're gonna go to a good home? So I thought you basically have 3 options when it comes to this. You can sell it, you can trade it, or you can donate it. So let's talk about option 1, which is sell it.
Okay, so the most successful place that we have sold games is actually on Facebook Marketplace. Now, there's general Facebook Marketplace where you can sell things. They go like that. It's awesome. But we actually have a New York City board game trade and sale group on Facebook Marketplace that it's like a group where you can list things and it's seen by board game people. Now, like that, I've sold games same day, next day, and also like we've gotten great deals. So we bought for $15 New and Shrink Camel Up, the brand new edition. It's fantastic. But you should definitely check if your local area has a board game specific Facebook Marketplace, because that's where you'll be able to list it and sell it really quick.
Another place to sell games is a company called Board Game Co. And what's really neat about these guys is that they will actually buy your gently used games for you, and then they will resell them into the board game community. And they will actually pay shipping for you to send it out there, which is really neat. And they will pay you back in store credit so you can like buy games on their site, or they will give you PayPal cash. Now, we have not participated in Board Game Co. specifically, but we do know the owner personally, and we've heard lots of great things about this company. So I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to go check out Board Game Co. Option number 2 for Hobbyist Games, and that is trading. Now, trading can be in the traditional sense where you have a friend that has a game you want, they have a game, you have a game they want, and bam, a trade happens. But there is actually more nifty ways you can do trading.
Yes, there's this thing called a math trade. It's the craziest thing ever, but they do it at a lot of conventions. They also do it locally sometimes. But what it is you say, these are all the games I have that I will trade. These are all the games I want. And they do all the math. They find, okay, if I give it to this, and they give it to that, and they give it to that, and they give it to that, big circle, you get what you want. So they help you figure out this whole thing. So at PAX Unplugged, they've got that going on. It's a really cool thing.
But you don't have to wait until the convention. That is a great option. There is also an online thing that you can do that's called Board Game Traders, and it's actually run by BGG and then Board Game Co., which I mentioned earlier. They have teamed up to do this, and it's basically like the same thing, but it's an online platform. So you put all the games you want, you're willing to trade in BGG, and then all of the games that you want. So option number 3 for getting rid of your hobbyist games, that is, if you're being a better person, that is donating.
No way to shame them.
Yeah, sorry. So, but there are some great places to donate of people that actually will play the game. Number 1 is board game cafes. Now, what a board game cafe is, you usually pay a fee to get in. There's a whole bunch of games on the shelves that you can play.
Yeah, it's like free open play. They're all open.
Free open play, and there's usually food and drinks involved. But they will usually, we've done it before, they will take your used games and donate them to the board game shelves for other gamers to play, which is a great thing to do.
Yes, but like only bring the fun stuff there, and make sure please all of the pieces are in those boxes. There's nothing sadder than opening it up and missing pieces.
Yes, that goes for across the board. Like, never donate a game that is just in really bad shape. Like, you want other people to have fun with it. Another great option is checking out your local library. Did you know actually a lot of libraries, you can check out games from them, and especially see if they have like a board game night, because a lot of libraries do this and they will let people play those games at the library. So call them ahead and they might be willing to take those games off your hand.
And also universities are a great place to go. A lot of schools will have board game clubs that play games, and they'll do that. I learned about board games in college, and it was amazing to be able to play games for the first time and like learn about all this.
Now, similar to board game cafes, there is FLGS, which is your friendly local game store. And that is a board game store, but a lot of times they will actually take your games from you and like sell them at a discounted price. Or they might use them as a demo product so they don't have to use their own stock.
Okay, now this last one might sound crazy because if you don't have this already, it seems like an insane thing. But my office actually has a game room where they have Scythe and Viticulture and Root and Pipeline and like all these crazy games. But it's actually because there are a lot of people at the office who love to play games. And some days you're there late, 5, 6, 6:30 p.m. on a Thursday, Friday, and you want to play a game. Bring in fun games that you would like to play, that you want to have there, so that you can be like, hey, you want to play a game after work?
Yeah.
Start with the small card games, start with the fun stuff, and then lead to the bigger games.
And I'm going to throw in a bonus one, and that is giving them to your family.
Oh.
Because they are a great
Classic.
place. Jonathan is a big proponent of this.
Okay. You cannot call yourself a New Yorker unless you have a closet at your parents' house.
Yeah.
So we have quite a few games that we've just shoved over there so that they can take care of them.
Yeah, so sometimes we won't even actually bring games when we go to visit family because they have some of our donated games and they really enjoy playing them when we come.
Yeah.
So we like to give like more family games over to there because then we get to enjoy them with the right kind of people. All right, everyone, and that is our video on how to get rid of games. I hope you guys learned something and got some good ideas. If you have any ideas on where you can donate or sell or trade games, if you guys could leave them down in the comments below, we'd love to learn and help this community learn as well. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you can know whenever we put out a new video. And we'll see you next time. Happy playing!